Now guys, when you do this, okay, I want you to think that you have a gun in your hand. Okay? It's not in the holster, it's not in the car, it's in your hand, and you pull the trigger at any minute. Okay? So keep that in mind as you're doing these. Let's go through these. Shoot, don't shoot. Okay? So you're having an argument with your neighbor when he pulls out a baseball bat and begins hitting your new car repeatedly. Shoot or don't shoot?
Don't shoot.
Don't shoot? Is everybody in agreement on that? What you said, depends on the car. It's a really nice car. All right, so you can use, the law says, and again, you got to go by state where you're at and everything, but you can use reasonable force, but not deadly force to protect your property. Okay. Think about that though, and what it's worth. You know, if you're going out there and you go, you know, with some kind of more reasonable force, and it escalates, you know. A lot of times, just get a video camera or something. Call the police, you know, and let them do their jobs. You got insurance for a reason. It's not worth killing somebody. It's not worth getting killed. Okay, the second one. You're at a gas station buying something to drink when a masked man with a gun comes in and demands money from the teller. The gunman sees you and swings the gun in your direction. Shoot or don't shoot?
Shoot.
Shoots. I got don't shoot. What do you guys say?
I said shoot.
Shoot.
I said don't.
Don't shoot? Okay. So let's ask first, why the shoot?
Well, the gas stations are relatively small, so you're probably within 21 feet right off the bat. I mean, he's threatening the teller and then he swings it right at you. I mean, that's forever.
Does he have the means?
Yeah.
Does he have the opportunity?
Yeah.
Could you be in jeopardy? Okay. All right. So, you know, nothing wrong with that. Now, what about the don't shoots?
More than likely, I mean, they're looking to pick up a place just to get money, and I'm looking to shoot somebody, kill somebody, repercussions of it.
Okay.
I
makes
was
sense.
thinking of the back away situation because first of all, I didn't go into that gas station I mean, my gun's not pulled. I'm standing there, so.
Well, remember, I told you before you took this that your gun is in your hand. You can use it in a heartbeat.
Oh, it's in my
if you want
hand,
to.
okay.
You can use it in a heartbeat if you want to. That doesn't mean it has to be right out in your hand where everybody sees it. I'm just saying. I mean, that's a good point. That's a good point, though. Okay, so here's the thing with this one, guys. You're justified in using deadly force. They're swinging a gun toward you. They could kill you, okay? But I understand you guys that aren't, you know, wanting to get involved. And honestly, for a lot of situations, I probably wouldn't either. And here's the reason. I want to tell you about a quick story. It's a police officer. He's a SWAT cop. He's got 15 years experience. He's on the SWAT team. He's a use of force instructor. He's a very skilled shooter. He takes his family to McDonald's. He's off duty, but he has his concealed carry. He has his 4-year-old daughter and his wife, and they go up to the counter to order, and the people at the counter are talking. There's somebody robbing the store. So he never saw them come in. He assumed they came in the back and they would leave it in the back. So he told his wife, take our daughter and get in the car. He told the people in front, clear out. I'm a police officer. He pulled his gun out. And he was just kind of going to hold there, you know, in case something happened and, you know, wait for police to arrive. As soon as he pulled his gun out, this guy come barreling out of the back. He had come in the front earlier and he was coming out the same way. He had a gun in his hand running. Looks up, sees a guy with a gun, pulls up, starts firing. The officer fired 11 times and he hit the guy 10 of those times. That's pretty darn good shooting under stress, okay? So the officer, when we train, we shoot and we come in and we assess 360 degrees because we know we have tunnel vision. We develop that as a, you know, body mechanic so that hopefully we'll do it under stress. Well, he said he took a second to do that, even though he trained it. It took him a second, but then he realized, oh crap, wolves travel in packs. Let's do a scan. When he scanned, he looked back and he saw a 9-year-old girl laying on the ground dead, a bullet in her head. She was obviously dead. There was blood everywhere. Okay. He looked over here and he saw his wife and his daughter under a table holding each other. They never made it out before the shooting started. Okay. So he said if he had it to do over again, he would have escorted his family out personally to protect them and then been a good witness, called the police, waited for help. And this is a police officer. I'm not telling you not to do something, to do something, but just be aware that anytime bullets start flying, even if you're doing right, if you train hard and you can shoot accurately, bad guys don't care. They just spray rounds and, people can die even if you're doing the right thing.
Some of that happened, we have to deal with,
Yeah,
a lot of afterthought that comes along with it. That guy could have been, who knows, doing something to support that 9-year-old daughter, and
sure.
by all means, he couldn't have been any, well, I can't say any other way, but,
Yeah.
you know,
A lot of different ways that could have gone. Now, here's the thing, okay? And this is just, I want you to understand the seriousness of what you're doing here. You carry a gun. It could go either way, okay? If you didn't do anything at that gas station, and then the robber took the money and shot the teller in the face, and she's 9 months pregnant, you know what I mean? You gotta live with that. You could have done something, and you didn't, okay? What if he shoots you just for the hell of it because he's crazy? You know, you gotta take all that stuff into consideration. I'm not telling you one way or the other. That's just one to think about. We recently had a robbery we were talking about this morning. There was a gas station in Powhatan, Tom's Carryout. I go to it all the time. They guy robbed it with a fake gun. He had a metal replica gun. You know, there were people in there that didn't do anything. They weren't armed that I know of, and that would make a big difference too. If your gun's in your purse or in your, you know, concealed, and it's going to take you time to get to it, those are all factors. So a lot to think about, and that's what we're here to do, is to think about it before you ever get there. Okay? All right. While stopped at a red light in a bad neighborhood, a group of thugs yell at you from the street corner. One of the thugs pulls up his shirt, revealing a gun, and says, "You got to pay the toll." The light turns green. Shoot, don't shoot.
Yeah, shoot.
Lord.
Everybody agrees, don't shoot? Okay. Because we have other
It
means,
is.
right?
Yeah.
If we can get away, then we, you know, are required to do that. The last one, and again, I get a lot on this one too, back and forth. You hear an unusual noise in your house at night and you decide to go investigate. While moving through your house in the dark, a figure jumps out from an interior room a few feet in front of you. Shoot or don't shoot?
Don't shoot.
Don't shoot? Everybody don't shoot, or any shoots?
My house is far away.
Don't shoot. You never know. So everybody's don't shoot? All right, good. And that's what this is designed for, okay? This is a don't shoot. I've had people that absolutely argue with me and tell me they know who's in their house. There's no way one girl, her husband are the only ones there. Nobody else has a key. She knows where her husband's at. There's no way that, you know, would be a no shoot. She would shoot no matter what. Okay?
I'm a single guy, I don't live with anybody in my own house. I don't think that you don't know what the hell's going on.
That's the thing, you don't have enough information. I mean, that's the bottom line. And that's why we're going to do some of the drills we have today, so you have an option for this. But you know, there was a guy who, a couple scenarios on that real quick. There's a guy who, he was laying in bed, he heard a noise in the middle of the night, and heard somebody downstairs, and he looked over and he saw his wife sleeping next to him in the bed. It was dark, and he got his gun and went to go look. Well, a figure popped out right in front of him, he shot, it was his wife. Well, I thought I told you at the beginning of the story, she was laying next to him, right? That's what he thought. He saw a pile there, and it looked like her, covered up in blankets. It was just a pile of blankets. It was dark. He just woke up. He didn't realize, and he killed his own wife.
It's always my body there, she would have shot me a couple times. I work night shift, and I come home different hours of the night.
Yeah,
And I scare her most nights because I'll just come out, I'll be sitting on the couch or something.
yeah.
And she walked out and scared her because.
Better get her some training so she don't shoot you. Now, I had another student here 3 or 4 years ago in Powhatan. He had like a 22, 23-year-old son living at home at the time. And he woke up in the middle of the night. His son had been out. He went out with friends and he was staying out for the night. Well, in the middle of the night, he heard noises come from his son's room. He got his 45, started walking that way, and he felt cold air coming in. He was like, this ain't good. It's wintertime out. There's cold air coming in, you know, through an open window. As he came around the open door, the door to the room was open, he saw somebody climbing through the window of his son's room. And he called out his son's name. He said, "John?" And the guy said, "No." Well, it wasn't his son. He said, "You need to back out of that window right now or you're dead." Because he had the gun pointed right at him, he was ready. The guy backed out. His heart's racing, he's scared. He called the police. The guy just tried to break in my house, this and that. The cops come and they picked up this kid a block away, drunk as a skunk. He was about 18 years old, and he lived the very next house down. He was drunk and he thought he was climbing in his window instead of,
Sneaking home.
yeah, instead of the neighbors. So imagine if he'd shot that kid. You know what I mean?
He comes and rattles on.
Yeah. So, you know, there's a time to wait and think it through before you do that kind of thing. Okay? So, all right. So I hope that gives you an idea, before we get into the mechanics of things, the seriousness of what we're doing and the legal issues.